to Dev Diary number 4, where we don't have the correct camera setup, but we're here anyway. I'm with Jord today. Amazing VP of Engineering is going to take us through what he's been up to this week. It's been a mainly quality of life sort of week, right?
Yeah.
Let me just tab from this because I know you hate seeing a picture of you on the big TV up there. So let's not do that. How are we? Pretty good, right?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Right.
Busy week.
Busy week. For you. It's busier for you than for me, I think.
It's always a busy week.
Yeah. 1 a.m. patch on the Sunday, probably where we started for this week, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So, this week, like I say, you've been mainly doing quality of life stuff. You've been mainly fixing kind of long-standing issues, stuff where it's niggled away a little bit, stuff where we wanted to fix it.
It's mainly been, over the past few weeks, we've gained a lot of technical debt from just having to do things quite quickly, so it's just been going back over those things and just improving things for when we're moving forward into the next few weeks.
Right. Okay. So it's been mainly about setting up for the next few weeks. We did have some stuff though that people were kind of complaining about that has made it into this patch that we tweaked and changed stuff as well, right? Like we had some stuff with the loot cup shuffling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so. I'm not entirely sure if it'll be going out in this patch or whether it'll be next patch, but we are planning on reworking that system slightly in 2 weeks, I believe. We're changing it so you get to pick your own cup,
right?
Because I know a lot of people have been frustrated with he's not picking the cup I want. But then obviously, because we're doing that, we are greatly reducing the chance of you spawning like a legendary or whatever. So it'll be like, I spawned a legendary, and then you have to follow it, and then you'll be able to actually choose that legendary. You're lucky to spawn it.
Okay, so can you hear Jordan okay, by the way? Pretty quiet dude. Yeah, so the changes to that are going to make it so that all these kind of complaints about I can't get the legendary I want, or at the moment, or previously, where it shuffled it gave you something that wasn't even in that cup. And all of that should be fixed soon, if not already.
It's either fixed today or it will be fixed in the next couple.
Yeah, and then the...
Yeah, it's the type of thing that doesn't require an actual game update for us because it's all just on our server, so we can hotfix that stuff pretty easily. So I assume it might even get looked at tonight while we're doing the updates.
Shady dealer is not as shady as previously promised. I know a few people were kind of like, oh, it's supposed to steal your stuff. No, it's not supposed to steal your stuff, guys. It's supposed to give you cool stuff. We're not entirely happy with the current implementation of it. Like I said, we're changing it. You're going to be able to pick which cup out of whichever the cups rather than having picked one for you. There's going to be a few new animations to go along with that, so it's a little bit harder to follow the shuffling. It's going to be like, say the crossover hands animation is going to be potentially going to link into a couple of different animations and stuff like that.
Yeah. We're also taking the animations we have and doing very slight variations on them. So if he were to bring his hands behind and switch cups, he might bring them behind and then not switch cups and take them back as well. So you will actually have to follow it quite closely instead of just being like, oh, it's this animation, I know it goes over here.
Yeah. So it makes it a little bit more varied. So you will have to still follow the cups, but you will get what was in the cup as advertised kind of thing. And we want to make it so that the item pops up. I don't know if that's going to be in quite straight away because it's more of a minor thing, but it's going to be rather than the name, it's going to pop up the actual item as well. Right?
There's a few questions we have to go about how we're going to display certain items. But yeah, that should be pretty good. And we're also adding more things soon. The icon you have when you load into the game.
Yeah.
We're having unlockable icons based on either crates or coins now. Coins.
No crates.
Yeah, it's just having
coins.
to say crates. Through that thing, or there might be certain reward ones or whatever. And then something I've been asking to do is sprays as well, similar to Counter-Strike and Watch, where you can just spray something on the wall or whatever. So to be able to have custom ones of those per characters, I think will also be pretty cool. So yeah, there's a few more unlocks we want to add, and that's the kind of route we're going down right now.
Cool. I just remembered I didn't actually tweet we were live. It's a bit awkward. Well, I'll just retweet whatever's vibrating in my pocket, and it'll probably do. So okay, changes to the loot cups, which are all good, and we fixed a whole bunch of other issues as well. We put some more. I believe there's more optimization this patch, or is it next patch?
So in the middle of the week, we did a release which like majorly updated the Asylum map in terms of optimization. Basically, the number of draw calls that were happening, which is basically it's a number that the lower the better. It's like the amount of times the CPU is like requesting for something to be drawn. And what is better for if like you can reduce those number of things by batching all the calls. So on the Asylum map, we've managed to reduce that greatly, but in the way that the Forest map was created, it wasn't easy for us to get that number down as easily as it was on the Asylum.
Right.
So over the past few days, our environment artists have been going over and basically merging a bunch of things together, so we can then just be like, oh, we need less draw calls for this because it's all just batched and it's easier for graphics cards to render.
Okay, so if you're like me and that technical speak maybe doesn't make quite as much sense, it's to do with how much stuff you're seeing and how it loads that, right? So if I'm looking here and I'm looking here, it's got to like load the stuff that's here, right?
Yeah.
So it's reducing as much like the amount of things it has
it's
to do at one time.
Yeah, it's basically reducing the load on the graphic cards essentially.
Right. So in normal human stuff, that's just
basically
good for you, and you'll get free frames out of it, which is great.
And there won't be like the impact in terms of graphics will be like none to negligible.
Cool. So it'll look the same, but you'll just get more bang for your buck after that. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of our biggest like negative reviews on Steam is like the optimization of this game is really bad. But that's the stuff we're going back to now and improving. So yeah, hopefully with the update in the middle of this week, people would have noticed their FPS on the Asylum has gone hopefully skyrocketed, and the like quicksand bug as people called it. We managed to figure out what that was and put in a fix, a temporary fix. But yeah, with the update coming out today, you should find a similar performance increase on the Forest map. But I still believe there's still work to be done.
There's still stuff we can do. There's stuff that we've learned that factors into the new map as we make it.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that's already been done, which is good for the past couple of weeks. So there should be more kind of iterative performance fixy stuff, which is great. And alongside all that, there was a few different fixes this week, like the hotkey bug was fixed, more settings, just general stuff in the options is a bit better now.
Yeah, my personal favourite update this week, it's like a very small quality of life thing, but now on like the menus, the escape button on your keyboard now goes back in the menus.
Right.
Which like, I don't know, I during development, I always used to keep pressing escape and it would just be like, oh, this isn't working.
So if you're tapping through like a whole bunch of items or something, it just makes that.
Yeah. Which I know it's a tiny thing, but like
it's the tiny things
to me.
It's the tiny things. So there's been lots of kind of like little things like that that just make it a little bit nicer to play Deceit at the moment.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more of that stuff. Obviously coinciding with as we release more content like throughout the month, like the content we showed you last week. There's going to be lots more kind of little performance tweaks, little quality of life changes where it just ends up being a little bit more polished, a little bit nicer to play and interact with the game and the menus and everything in there. We've got a dedicated UI guy coming in soon on that front as well, right?
We are we're interviewing at the moment. I don't know.
So soon, I'm not sure how soon that's going to be. That's going to be pretty impactful as well.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff there.
Yeah. So do you want to move on to talk about the content change we have?
Yeah, let's go with the content stuff now. Let's go with the content stuff.
Okay, so the main like meta changing thing we're doing this week is we are changing how the lever system works.
Right.
Currently, the way it works is how lever appears. You can activate it, which enables an objective. You can go to that objective, but before you get to that objective and start it, a terror can disable the lever.
Right.
We're changing it now so both terrors and innocents can shoot levers 3 times to destroy it, basically. And then when you shoot it 3 times, like smoke comes out of it, and it's no longer that objective is no longer usable at all.
So you can't get that objective at all?
No.
Cool.
So we found one of the biggest things right now is terrors don't deactivate levers because the risk reward isn't good enough. Because you deactivate a lever, they either come back and see you there, or even if you manage to get away with it, they just go and enable it again anyway. So what's the point, really?
Right.
So yeah, this is going to be like a major like meta shift of being able to actually destroy the levers, and then like it has like a full-on effect, right? Because I destroy this lever, you can't get that camera, let's say. not being able to get that objective means you don't get the extra 15 seconds off of your blackout time. And then there's another camera at the game, right? Which everyone knows.
Right.
Less cameras is
so it makes it a bit more something where you play around it. It gives you more opportunity to lie as well if you see something. And the other thing is it's not just good for infected. Obviously, a poor play from the infected, shooting something is going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So the counterplay is there. You might be hidden somewhere, or they might think you're not in a position where you can see them do it. But they might not realize you're there. They shoot it, you can pop out, you can see who's shooting it. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot kind of play and counterplay around that from both sides, right?
Yeah. The thing I really like is how it it increases the risk, but it also increases the reward because you have to be noisy to shoot it. But then
actually, and it's going to take 3 shots. And
technically, it also does decrease the risk as you don't have to go right up to the lever. You could snipe it from the other side of the room, especially on the forest map where you can just see things far away. If you can get 3 quick shots off, nobody might know it's you from the other side of the map.
So FPS players, that's one for you there.
Yeah.
Get your scopes out on your pistols, right? Okay, that's cool. What were the other gameplay changes stuff?
That was the major one.
That was the major one.
Yeah.
Sure.
The main stuff I've been working on this week is more for our next week's update.
Right. Which we're going to maybe hint at in a second.
I assume we'll just announce it now anyway.
Just tell it.
It's not hard to guess, seeing as next weekend is Easter weekend, so we're doing a Easter promotion, which should be pretty cool. There'll be a bunch of new, similar to our Christmas stuff, how all the different, there's the elf skin, the turkey head, the terror stag skin. There's going to be Easter variants, and we're doing it slightly different this time. For Christmas, we just put them in our crates at the time. There was no, actual game changes to it. But for next week's, we are adding a little something into the actual game, and it's something you have to earn over time rather than just get lucky through.
So it'll give you some more incentive to log in and play, and it'll give you some more fun stuff to do, whether you're infected or innocent, when you're in the maps. Something like a little extra reward for just going around doing stuff.
Yeah. And cool. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will hint that there will be a new terror skin available next week.
Yeah, I wonder what that could be. Easter terror skin.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea. Anyone know? No idea.
But yeah, I think there's 7 rewards in total to get.
Right.
So yeah, that'll be stuff that players can earn. I don't know how long it will be in game for. It will either be 1 or 2 weeks from our next update next week.
Okay. That's cool.
So, yeah.
I know there's going to be some cool art around that when it's a bit closer to the time as well. I've seen some of the kind of sketches around it. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You'll see that soon. Not yet. That's going to be cool though when that's ready, and that's going to be all for next week.
Yeah, that'll be released next week.
Yeah, it's going to be released next week. You'll be able to play that stuff next week. You'll be able to start earning towards the rewards from next week, and then they'll all be in the game shortly after that. Depending on what they are.
The rewards?
Yeah.
They'll be all released next week, but then you earn them. So however long it takes you to earn the reward is how long it takes till you'll see them in game.
And there'll be a cool way to track that as well, right?
Yeah,
There's going to be like a kind of progression bar type thing to show you where you're at based on the rewards and stuff. That's cool. So that's kind of the main of it, really, this week, which doesn't seem like very much. And the reason it doesn't seem like very much is because, a lot of technical stuff is very, very easy to talk about and very easy to say, oh, we fixed this, or we found the cause of this. But it actually takes a little bit longer than it might seem by just talking about it. So, as we said, the main of this week has been about quality of life stuff. It's been about fixing issues that have kind of stood there in the game and niggled at people and annoyed people and so on.
I kind of see this as a half update, seeing as we did our last minor patch on Tuesday. That was actually had 10 different things in it,
right?
So it wasn't really that minor. I just remembered one other thing we're doing this week. Something that's quite nice. In the end of round screen where all the players line up.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the end of round screen. Of course.
Yeah, we're changing it so even players who disconnect, you still see them there lining up, which is pretty cool. Because it looks a bit bad right now when people disconnect and you get to the end and you just see you don't even know who the terror is because they just all F4.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see the answers at the end because obviously a few innocents can leave, a few terrorists can leave. You can never know. You can live life just never knowing who was really infected that day, and it can haunt you in your sleep, and it can eat at you. Yeah, exactly. You can go to bed in the night staying awake on that. So rather than having that buggy, yeah, it's going to be in the end screen. It's going to be there for you to see. And that's going to be pretty cool. We'll have like,
Yeah.
Cool. And then we were talking about doing some changes to the end screen anyway in the long run as well, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about those now?
Well, anyone who played in early access will remember the little like event progress thing at the bottom of the UI. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing, but it will be bringing that back in some form. Whether it will be on the end of round screen or maybe like you can go back to the menu and then look back at the previous games.
Right.
And, recap. Yeah, it'll be something along those lines. So basically, yeah, for those who didn't play in early access, at the end of the game before, you would get a timeline at the bottom with all the different events of like, oh, this person executed this person here, or oh, this person took the objective at this time. So you could like actually track what happened.
You can almost see when your plan goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Or horribly right, depending on which side you're on.
Yeah. The thing that I liked seeing was say if there was two terrors and one terror did nothing the whole thing,
right.
and the other terror like absolutely carried it. Like it's interesting to be able to see that type of data, which is kind of hidden right now.
It'll also be interesting as well from the meta point of view because you'll be able to see like if you're typically losing games because terrorists do a certain thing, you'll be able to kind of like try and counterplay around that a bit more, force them to adapt and change and do something else. It'll give us some interesting stuff for you to look at so that our stats aren't just kind of kept hidden away on our end of things. We want to kind of show some of the cooler stats and maybe show some flavor stats mixed up with that, which is going to be pretty cool. And yeah, people will see how much Barking Panda apparently sucks, which is feels bad, man. But hey.
Yeah, me too. People see how much
Me too. People will see John's always infected. I have a stat on that now. We can finally confirm it. People will see me just grabbing the antidote and getting murdered every round.
Yeah.
Feels bad, man. But hey, we'll have it at least. Yeah. So we can all suffer together on that one, which will be cool.
I just remembered one more interesting thing for this week.
More thing.
We've been quite grateful to have a bunch of community members willing to help us with some of our translations.
Shout-outs, yes.
We originally paid for a online translation service to just... Basically, we just sent them like spreadsheets and said, these are the languages we're going to be translated into. And they'd send it back to us. Unfortunately, doing that, you don't get the best results in terms of like how we're just supposed to fit contextually and things. So essentially what some of our community members have been grateful enough to do is to just go through those and just apply corrections to everything. We have one Chinese community member who's been like ridiculously on top of it, and like every time I add something it's just done basically within a few seconds. And over
I know
the
we
past
want to
few
expand
days,
a bit more on the Chinese side, so it's not just maybe him alone. But.
And then on the Russian side we have a new Discord channel where they're all being really productive, and they've managed to go through almost all of that this week. That's also been really helpful. Yeah. We're also looking for some more community members. We have a few for
French, I think.
German, French.
One person, a couple of German people.
Yeah, but it is quite a big task. There is
I think we want someone to give a once over to the Korean as well, right?
Yeah, it would be really nice to get someone to review our Korean and Japanese. Luckily, we have a Spanish person in the office, so Spanish is fine.
Spanish is very easy for us because we actually have a Spanish person here. But the other ones, so a little bit more difficult.
So yeah, if anyone can speak multiple languages and want to help, then just add us on Discord, and we'll be able to add you into the.
Oh, we have JBook for English. Great, cool.
That's great.
That's great. We needed that one. English needs a once over. That'd be cool because nobody here speaks that at all, so it's good. Yeah, shout out to you guys, especially the Russian guys who kind of formed that channel. They like flash formed the channel. They're like, oh, drag this guy and drag this guy and drag this guy. Yeah, show us what we need to do. Yeah, we're on it. Okay, cool. Right. Leave us with this for a couple of days, and
I was amazed at the efficiency
really quickly.
Yeah. I barely had to do anything. It was amazing.
Russian efficiency apparently well renowned.
Yeah.
Now, that was great stuff. Honestly, you need American. I don't know. Have we added any cheeseburgers to the game yet?
Sorry?
Cheeseburgers.
Oh, right. No, not yet.
We do have that really good American shirt coming up, though, which I think everyone can rate that 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Innately. Just from day one.
I don't know if having special names for like the guns.
Just needs to
I
be
think
a
we
freedom
should.
shirt.
Yeah.
Needs to be
It's kind of a cop out just copying the gun there.
It needs to be that. Well, true. Sure. Maybe it needs like maybe we can make like a big old Uncle Sam hat. But, I don't know. Who knows?
That'd be great.
Who knows? That'd be cool. And on that note as well, at some point in the near future, I'm potentially going to be looking to do something with the community making stuff. I have no idea how logistically difficult that's going to be yet.
Making stuff for the game?
Yes, cosmetic
really?
stuff. I really want to do this.
I
know it's like suddenly that's like
yeah,
right, but
yeah.
that'd be cool.
I think certain things will be easier than other things.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. It would be pretty cool.
In the very base level, we could have people do stuff and send it to us and like run kind of a community competition for what goes into the game, which would be cool. But on the more advanced level, if we can manage to nail the sort of poly count style TF2 and literally have people who are really kind of up and coming 3D stuff, they want to actually make something, it'd be cool to give them the tools to do it. I've actually seen a lot of people on the forums ask about when are we getting a workshop, when can I build a map for this game, when can I do this, when can I do that. I don't think we'd do maps, but cosmetic stuff would be doable.
I think cosmetic stuff is... I'm not committing to saying yes to this.
I'm not committing to saying yes either, but it's something I definitely want to have the conversation around.
I like the idea. Yeah. And I also know that we're looking to do Steam integration with certain things.
Yes. Like
Steam Wallet for like cosmetic purchasing and stuff. Nothing too deeply integrated yet, because it's not really the type of game we are. I think like the base Steam Wallet integration of being able to purchase maybe some coins or maybe some like certain cosmetics is quite a cool thing, and something that quite a few people have been asking about.
Yeah, people keep asking for that, oddly enough. We keep telling them we're not making it pay to win, stop asking us kind of thing, and we're still not making it pay to win, so don't ask us to do that. But potentially letting people buy their favourite shirt doesn't really impact anything very much. If someone just, really, really, really wants a turkey head, then I'm kind of happy to indulge their strange fantasy on that one.
It's true, but...
I don't know. But it is an overwhelmingly large request. But it's a really common one.
Yeah, the turkey head is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
If you want to make fan stuff and you want to start sketching an awesome idea right now, like if you're watching this stream and like you just have a pencil in your hand, it's like burning away at a piece of paper from right now. You can email it to us. You can at me on Discord. You can tweet it at me at Robeson Space on Twitter. I will look at every single tweet. I'm worried about agreeing to do this, but I will. So just send it me pretty much anywhere, and I'll take a look at it. And in the kind of meantime, before we maybe get some kind of community content competition or something running up, then I'll run it by our character artist Yogi, who I'm definitely going to steal and put on one of these streams at some point. Yeah, because that'd be cool. Cool. I think that's kind of like everything we've updated. That's like a visual thing. Aside from saying we fixed some stuff. So, should we take some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool.
A quick one I've read. Can I get a Discord link? Discord.gg/deceit.
Yeah.
I'll take it straight there.
I think I can hop in and do that real fast.
So to move on. Oh, okay. So before people ask questions about the content preview stuff we announced, just to give you a timeline for next week. I believe next week...
Delayed. No, I'm kidding.
No. I believe next week will either be traps or vents. Speaking to our animators, I feel that we're more likely to do vents. But that's something we haven't discussed yet. Right. But that's the inkling I've gotten from speaking to people. So
I think vents would be a good one. First, simply because it's going to be weird. Yeah, I'll give you a phone number, just private message, right? No, vents would be probably good because it will open up the map a little bit more, make the map feel bigger than it actually is. It will allow some kind of get out of jail clauses for the Terror to kind of play around it. It will open up new gameplay kind of mechanics.
Yeah.
And then the traps will kind of help rein some of that in. So just when people have had enough of it, then we can kind of throw the traps in. People can go, right, okay, no one is ever coming through this vent without me knowing about it. I'm going to throw my trap down here. See how that plays out as well.
Also, coming off of that, another idea that I really like that we haven't really discussed in full detail yet is the idea of having some wardrobes around the map. and being able to interact with those wardrobes,
you can
and it
try-
changes the changes the character you're playing as.
right, okay.
So you know, if someone's like, "Oh, it's the Alex with the green hat, is the terror," like, but they don't know your name in the dark period, I can run over to a wardrobe and like interact with it and turn into Lisa or something.
Right.
There's like some weird questions around that, like how does it work with your traits? I assume it will just keep the traits you originally choose for that character, but yeah, I think that's a really interesting idea.
It's an idea. I would be very interested to see how it's going to potentially impact game balance. More confusion is good as long as it's kind of an understandable degree of confusion. Yeah, I'm up for talking about that. That's definitely going to be a Monday meeting topic, I think. We can drive everybody insane.
It's
with
from a development point of view, it's really easy to do.
Oh, okay.
Like, I could probably do it in a couple of hours. Like,
so let's request
even
loads of
more.
really complicated custom animations. Just drive the animation department insane
yeah.
instead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Any chance of special exclusives for people like the Baru? That we might be working on some cosmetics that people could. We're not really working on exclusive cosmetics right now. Simply because I want to add more stuff that hits everyone.
Yeah. I'm personally, I'm more pro just getting a whole base level of cosmetics up instead of doing specific things for certain streamers. Because I feel that like our cosmetics numbers are quite low right now, and we could really hit that hard. Especially when we start adding things like the icons and sprays, or whatever, that'll like start skyrocketing the amount we have. But yeah. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe in the future. There's some stuff I talked about where I mentioned it and people kind of just went, yeah, we have to add that. Oh, I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm going to make it. So, like, our cosmetics guy is really hyped as well. We're going to add generalist stuff first, so stuff that references to things that most people like, stuff that are maybe fashion items you'll see in the real world, stuff that are maybe map-appropriate items. I mean, we're going somewhere in the middle of the Arctic. You might want a coat, because that would probably be good. You know, it's the Arctic, so we're gonna be adding some stuff around cosmetics where
just have the shirtless Chang with the sunglasses.
I'm in the Arctic. I don't mind. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
No plans for a wheelchair innocent. No.
I've heard that request multiple times.
Wheelchair innocent. Is this like a meme I'm not getting?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Can someone explain the wheelchair innocent meme? It's just not getting it so much right now. We should add the couch. That'd be cool. That should be the cosmetic select screen, so to speak. You know, just sitting there, chilling. How is the progress on the new map or any other content you're able to show? There will be stuff to see next week, especially with the Easter stuff. And with the stuff that will be released next week. With the event. Did you say it was next week or the week after?
I imagine Vents will be next week.
Right, okay, so you imagine Vents. Okay, so there'll be stuff next week. We'll have potentially a map update next week for people to look at, not to play. It won't be out. I will not use those words, but we want to kickstart something where people can take a look and see what the devs are up to I think I was planning to do it Wednesday. It's not a thing yet, but you will sometime in the near future be able to come and kind of vicariously hang out with Mark and John and people and say like, oh, okay, so this is why they worked on that, this is how they did that, this is like the part they removed and why they removed it, this is the part they're adding in, this was the inspiration for that. You'll be able to kind of see the process of where we're at, which is really cool because I think then you kind of have a bit of a feel for how the progress is going. It means that you can kind of give a little bit of feedback if there's something where you see it and you think maybe we've missed it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool for anyone who's a little bit more artistic to kind of understand things a little bit.
Another cool thing we have going on right now is we're also hiring for a video editor.
Yes.
And recorders, whatever the word is. Video producer. So we'll probably do a lot more behind-the-scenes-esque stuff on our YouTube channel and utilize that a bit more.
Yeah.
So I think going along with that, you'll see some cool things from footage being shot around the studio.
Yeah,
all the cool things we get up to.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talk about a lot. I sat in for a video editor's interview the other day, and we spoke about doing some weird behind-the-scenes stuff, and everyone I've spoken to about it seems to think it's awesome, so it's definitely going to happen. There will be kind of stuff with us maybe out and about if we're doing anything weird as well. Perhaps not with Deceit, but if we're doing any kind of like studies of an area or something, we'll probably record it and kind of show you cool stuff we're doing, or if we're going somewhere to take location shots or something, we'll maybe make a bit of a clip reel of us doing it, and just interesting stuff.
Or if we go to like gaming events or whatever.
Yeah, and then all the gaming event stuff. Yeah. So as we start going to your PAXs and your Insomnias and whatever else, we'll be there and we'll record. And if you're not there and you don't have a ticket or you're not flying out there or whatever it is, then you'll be able to kind of see what we actually did. So you'll be able to see kind of the announcements in the crowds and all the fun stuff there too, which is cool.
And then the other side of that role will be all the in-game stuff as well. So like maybe like watching and portrait.
Yeah, so we'll have cool patch release trailers. Maybe we'll have kind of like maybe some cutscenes in different things and stuff like that. So there'll be awesome stuff kind of coming up around video, which is cool. Yeah. So the next question, it has actually scrolled off the screen, but the next question is about merchandise. Do we have any plans for Deceit merch yet? Which is, I have some cool ideas for Deceit merch. Like t-shirts and stuff. I got some basic ones, I got some really cool ones too.
What I really want is, you know, Lisa's knife is a mug with the Deceit logo on.
Right.
I think just having that mug would be cool. It's actually
that's an easy one. Yeah. I really want the Game Master's hat. That's like my bucket list request.
I had a plushie doll commissioned recently. Of Alex.
Oh, so you did. Okay, so the plushies are potentially a thing.
Well,
so,
as in, that was more of a.
Oh, that was a one-off.
That was a one-off custom thing. Yeah, I have an Alex, which is pretty cool. I kind of want to get the full set now, so I might order the other three. I originally wanted to get the Terror as a plushie, but I think that's slightly harder to do. But I think if I can get the full set of the characters, I think that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. You should make it like a. You should make like a plushie. You should make something where you can kind of skin the plushie by like putting a. Yeah. Effect. That'd be really cool, right? I don't know. Is the player population going up or down? It's pretty steady at the moment, actually. It went down a little bit, which is probably because people are waiting for a few fixes. So people maybe just checked it out and then passed by. But it's pretty stable where it's at the moment.
Yeah, I would say
it should go back up soon with some of the stuff we're doing, some stuff we have planned.
I would say we had like the original release hype.
Yeah.
And we've tailed off of that a bit now. A few people started leaving because of some of the optimization issues we've had. And now I think we're like over the main hump of that stuff. Yeah. I think we're coming towards the tail end. I think once we've got all of that stuff fixed, and then coming along with things like the new map, and then all of that type of stuff will then like set us up to be able to go on the upward trajectory again, doing like a more big push.
Yeah, there's going to be a few nudges going out, kind of as we release more stuff.
Yeah.
As we kind of have the bulk of the optimization stuff done, and we're kind of happy with that, or hopefully we're happy with that. It's going to be a case of going back and telling to everyone that said, you know, I can't stand the frames on this, and just nudging them saying, well, look, we fixed that. Log in, go for a game, see if it fixed it for you. Let us know. If that was the only reason you weren't playing Deceit, well, we fixed it, so enjoy the game. And if it wasn't, let us know what the other reason was. You know? Yeah. So we'll kind of go back through and track a few people back that way, and see if we can steal some of the old faces back.
Yeah, and just to it's a good time to address Cool Jack's question of is your current focus more on new content or bug fixes and optimization? To answer that question, one thing that grinds my gears a little is how like some community members will like pick on one bug and be like, oh, why aren't you fixing this one, like why have you made this cosmetic when this one bug isn't fixed?
Sure.
And like the people involved in making this one cosmetic and fixing this one bug are completely different people in the company, and like the idea of this bug is being really looked into hard and we're trying to fix it just gets like completely overshadowed by releasing this cosmetic. So to ask, are we working on new content or bug fixes and optimization? They're not mutually exclusive.
No.
Like we can work on both at the same time, and we are working on both at the same time.
Yeah, to give you an idea of how it works, where I sit in the office, there's a few dudes who work on maps and environment stuff, and they've been working on the new map and occasionally hopping on the old map to throw in some more optimizations, some fixes and stuff, and something they found out maybe making the new map has then been something they've gone, oh, we can go back and fix that in the old map, because that's how that works, where there's a better way of doing it now because we've learned something new. So then they change it up. And cosmetic wise, we have one guy doing it at the moment. We're getting some more. He makes all the cosmetics, and he sits there, he comes up with them, and we help him come up with some of them, and he makes them, and then he rigs it all up and puts it in the game and all that kind of stuff. So that's completely separate from guys like Jord, who are working on the more kind of code side of things, where they're staring at strange things compiling all day, and I just kind of go, oh, looks good, dude. And then I walk by and look at some more art again. I understand that.
That's that pretty much sums it up.
That pretty much sums it up. But yeah, it's a separate thing. We're quite involved in each other's process with like talking about what we want to do or what we would like to put in the game. But it's not a case of why don't you have everyone in the studio fixing bugs? Because I think if I started coding something, you'd probably have some more serious problems. I think at that point. Lots of colons. Semicolons. See, there you go. There's the first mistake, right? Yeah. I don't know. What was that? I swear we just saw
Jord's terror skin. That would scare me. Like we can't do that.
So, is it intended that you wait 1 or 2 seconds when infected is transforming before you can camera flash them? Sometimes they move and don't get flashed, which I found kind of weird. I think there's a couple clunky things around the camera at the moment. I think they're going to get fixed really soon. I know we implemented a couple of things really quickly because we found some ways you could infinitely flash people, and that really sucked. I know there's some stuff we want to do tightening up with the way the internal core on the camera works, and a couple of things. It might be related to that.
Yeah, I'm not really the best person to answer that question.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I agree it feels a little clunky, so I would expect a change. What that change will be, I don't.
Yeah, I have no kind of qualms with someone just pulling out a camera and flashing someone. The problem I had with stuff like before, where you could like flip between it and just keep kind of machine gun flashing people, which was a bit
kind of like
crazy.
Kind of like op switching in CS:GO.
Yeah, it's like if anyone ever used like the old mechanics like the Deagle in CSS, where you just kind of bang, right? Okay, I'll put that up. Like we don't really want that to happen, but we need to find a kind of happy medium. And at the moment, we sort of just busted it so that you couldn't just infinitely flash people. So it's a little bit clunky than it needs to be, but it will get changed a little bit soon.
Can you bring
I'll ask him. I mean, I ask people to come to the dev stream, and everyone kind of sheepishly runs away from me and finds it's something like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be right back. I have to leave somewhere, dude. You know, so yeah, we'll make the Shivam request next week. Let's see if we can get him on.
I think next week, because of the if
we're doing
a map review.
Yeah.
Doing a map review, it's probably be cool to get one of the environment artists who've been working on the map.
Because we can talk to them about their processes, a little bit about the thoughts behind the map, and we can get a bit of an inside scoop. So maybe not Shabam next week.
So next week I'd expect an environment artist, and then maybe the week after.
I'm going to stop begging them from today. That way they have no excuse. Yeah. They can't have a plan or anything. No dates.
Just put it in their calendar.
I'll just start contacting all of their dates and be like, sorry, he's busy. Just can't come out today. I have to reschedule. Yeah, just smash their phones or something. Anyway, why don't we finish the game instead of... Well, is Jord going to be a playable character in the game?
Yes. I'm announcing that here today.
Right, okay.
I am going to be a playable character in the game.
Okay. That was big surprise.
World first exclusive.
Maybe we should make you like you could be like an NPC in the next game we're working on. That'd be cool. That'd be doable as well. We should look into that.
Yeah, if we should do facial scanning and stuff. Just put everyone in the game.
You can be like Jord the blacksmith fixing everything. Something ironic.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Good mark on stream. I don't know. We'll see.
Jord Trey, you are always infected.
Next game confirmed. Yeah, that's the next game. That was never not confirmed, really.
I think it's on our website.
I think that's even on our website, yeah, because people commented on it, and I was like, huh? And then I remembered that it was on our website. And it's nothing to do with Deceit. And we're not even really working on it at the moment, because we're so busy working on Deceit. But there is a next game plan.
We're still in like the defining the vision and determining what it's going to be. like that's just to confirm. Like we're not like abandoning Deceit anytime soon.
No, not at all.
I know when people hear the word next game, they're like, "Oh, this is the last Deceit update we're ever gonna get,"
That's
and
it,
everything's gonna say broken.
We're moving on. You know, green pastures and all that.
Yeah, but no.
We're making something else sometime, but that's like years.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about this because I know I'm going to say something I shouldn't.
Multiple years? I don't know. But we had some tech meetings on it. That was interesting. I got to kind of nod my head for being like, and then they told me like stuff that it results in. And I went, okay, that seems good, and that was cool. But no, next game is a thing, but it's not for now. It's not even soon TM. It's far TM. Or what is the Valve time for like multiple years? It's not quite Half-Life 3.
I was about to say that something to do with number 3.
It's not quite Half-Life 3, but it's you can see it from there.
I saw a funny thing on Reddit the other day. It was like somebody they went to Valve's offices and took pictures, and I noticed that like the floors started from number 4 upwards. Like there wasn't a floor 3.
Can't imagine why. I don't think they do. I just don't think they do 3s. Wait, in fact, there's not a 3 in here, is there? Actually, it's not a. We can do 2s then. We can't do 3s.
Depends if you're US or American.
This is true. It's true. But yeah, hey, Valve time. Valve time. Sometime around Half-Life 3, we'll have it done. Maybe.
Yeah, that's actually one of my gripes in Deceit is.
We have Half-Life 3?
No, we have some.
Oh, okay.
We have some American people in the office. So like, I can't say he's on the first floor.
Right.
I have to say he's on the middle floor.
I just call them wrong.
Yeah,
it works for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I've been doing it. Maybe that's why people keep shooting me. I can't work it out. Will Deceit ever get a sequel? I mean, we can finish making the first one first, and then maybe.
The way I see Deceit is like an ongoing project.
Yeah, it's kind of like a thing where we have so much more to add to it, and then we have this stuff where we can kind of like expand out on that lore-wise and gameplay-wise, and then kind of refresh some stuff. And there's been some cool ideas around that. If you were in Kid Fix's stream the other day, I spoke to them a little bit while we were doing our AMA, while we were giving out a few Deceit keys with them. And one of the things I kind of leaked preemptively is we're looking into some ways to make the maps a little bit more diverse, even not necessarily adding more maps to do that, but also changing the way you play the maps. I know
there's an idea for the new map especially.
Yes.
That will greatly vary how each game is played.
Yeah, so you might not always do it in the order of 1, 2, 3. It might be one time you do it 1, 3, 2, or next time you do it 3, 1, 2, or something like that. So it might not always be the same order. And I'm not sure if we could do that necessarily with the old maps, but we could still do like a mirror mode, like Mario Kart kind of feel, where
I think with the forest it'll be slightly easier.
Yeah, the forest could be difficult.
I think going to the base, it can work.
On the ground floor, maybe the front door's open this time.
Yeah, and jump out.
Yeah, maybe you can open the front door this time and escape on this arm there, rather than through his kind of like elaborate escape plan. Yeah. But no, there's some ways we're looking kind of livening up the maps a little bit, and making the maps themselves more map, if that makes sense, which is kind of cool. Hopefully.
Team Ripset has asked, could it ever be ported to console? That's watch this space.
It is a watch this space. We did talk about it actually. I know a couple of people have asked me this. I've been asked, when is it coming to Mac? When is it coming to Linux? When is it coming to Xbox? When is it coming to PlayStation? When is it coming to Game Boy? Virtual Boy, my phone, my toaster.
Yeah, on our release day, someone DM'd us on Twitter asking if we're releasing on Android. And it just blew my mind. This CryEngine game, just port it to Android.
Android 5. Hey, maybe if we get fly to Germany again, we can fix that. Is it coming to Google Ultron? I mean, NASA would know. I don't think. Would we even know? Isn't it already there? It probably runs perfectly on Google Ultron. I mean, you just have to install Adobe Reader first, and then it's all good.
That's my development environment.
Yeah, right? Like, who doesn't develop an Adobe Reader? I thought that was like the open secret at this point. I don't know. Anyway, so Any more awesome questions before we wrap this up for the week? Because this is like super short, but we are here. You can still ask us stuff. You can ask us stuff after the stream if you really want to. You don't get to hear the awesome answer. So, having a booth at upcoming events, says Flynn. We are looking at doing some events. I'm not sure when we start that. We want to finish off kind of hiring the rest of our team first so that we can have a really awesome event presence. You might have guessed by us sitting here with my mic from home and a webcam we kind of borrowed that we plan on doing a lot more stuff. We plan on buying cameras, having the cameraman there, so we can kind of like take that event and take it home with us. We plan on making cool stuff for the events when we go there, so whether it be a cool setup and set pieces and maybe getting like a statue or something made that I know someone mentioned, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, stuff for us to give people at the events, all sorts of stuff, so I'm not sure when we'd start that, but I know when we do, it's going to be announced on on here on Twitch via the dev stream. It's going to be announced on Twitter, it's going to be announced on Facebook, it'll be on our website. We might even bulletin it in game, anything to just let you know that we'll be there. And once we're at those, you'll be able to come and meet us and hang out with us and do Deceit stuff and find out maybe a couple of things that we're not revealing and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can go to an event and do it in several different capacities, right? You can just go as the team. We could like get a small stand, get a big stand, have some stage presence. I'd imagine we will do some form of events, where they are and what extent we like do the event. I don't know. We'll see. Watch the space.
Yeah, let's see if we can do like, was it Splinter Cell where they did an event and got arrested? Let's see if we can do that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I really want to go to E3. So.
I want to go to E3. I've always wanted to go to E3. I've never been since I was a little kid, when I was small. All those years ago. No, I did want to go to E3. I grew up wanting to go to E3. I want to go to E3. And if my first E3 is exhibiting there, I will be super stoked for the entire time. So I'll probably just be throwing out like t-shirts everywhere and doing cool stuff. I don't know. Cool. So yeah, E3 visit Chicago. Well, yeah, Ripset, I know you're in Chicago doing Mortal Kombat stuff. If we're by, we'll let you know. So the usual escape mix is combination lock on the door. You get, okay, that would be pretty spooky. Reagan, all I can really say is we plan on changing some of the stuff to do with how you progress. We spoke a little bit on that last week, so you can do different stuff rather than just huddling around a door. So no combination locks planned currently, but it's not entirely off the menu. There are some interesting changes coming to that soon, and they're going to kind of debut with a new map, I believe. So yeah. So last question from Happy, which I'm pretty sure that's actually Osti. I'm 99% sure that's actually Osti.
Any Netflix suggestions? Yes, watch 13 Reasons Why and then crawl into bed and cry for the rest of the week. It's a really sad show.
Okay.
It's really good.
That happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you planning on increasing the player limit? We spoke about 4 people. We spoke about doing some different modes and stuff, and nothing yet, but soon TM. That is a soon TM, not soon. So
most when is the new act expected? End of the month is
end of the month. Yeah. But we'll have an update on where we're at with that hopefully next week. Cool. So that kind of wraps it up for this week. So that's Dev Diary number 4 done. Dev Diary number 5 should be next week at 6. Is that potentially going to be a Thursday thing because Friday is a holiday, or are we coming in for Friday?
I'm not going to be here.
Okay, well, we'll know next week.
I won't be here. I would imagine Thursday.
Yeah, I think it's possibly going to be Thursday next week as a one-off because Friday is a big holiday over here. So that makes it a little bit easier for us. But yeah, that'll be announced and stuff again. Come by for Dev Diary number 5. We'll talk about what we've been up to. We'll show the release stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next week.